So, welcome everybody. Nice to see you all again. Hmm. So we start as we usually do, a guided group meditation, guided non-doing meditation, and the enlightenment activation at the same time. For those who wants to have the activation, you need to have the video on. So we just sit comfortably and closing our eyes. Yes, so to speak, landing on this spot. Just now, we are not interested in anything outside us. Of course, we hear sounds, we have body sensations, feelings coming, thoughts. Are we not interested in this? Usually, we are very fascinated by this, but in this non doing meditation, we just leave the moment as it is already. We just allow this moment to be exactly as it is. Not pushing anything away, not grabbing anything specific, not analyzing, not searching for anything now. I just stop, not looking for anything specific. Expectations may come, but they are not interesting. We just allow this moment to be as it is already. Not interested in anything specific and doing absolutely nothing. Now the activation will start. And if thoughts are grabbing attention, they usually want to grab attention. We just notice that there's nothing wrong with thoughts. They are also here, allowed to be here. We're simply not interested in them. Then they will usually subside. And if they are very interesting, we can say to ourselves, I will think about it afterwards. It's a very interesting thought, admitting that. But still, in this meditation, the thoughts are not pushed away. We're not interested in them. We can take a few minutes to come out of meditation. So it's beautiful that there are so many people interested in this new approach of discovering that you are already free. You and you, of course, has been the traditions also, but not so clear. And I also see that now we have people from 4 continents today. America, Europe, Asia, and Australia. Beautiful to see that people, no matter what tradition you come from, no matter what culture you come from, there is a longing to see how it is, to live the truth, not only talk about it. And as you know, we have a little project here, so to speak. It's a series of topics that we go through to find what is your obstacle for not seeing that you are already living in your enlightened state. What is your unique obstacle? There's usually only one, which is a good news. So we're trying to find that in your unique so-called path. And one of these obstacles we have not been talking about before, it's what we can call the healing syndrome. I don't know if that is the right word. Healing syndrome. The healing tendency. It means that helping other people. Well, that sounds good. We should always help other people. All right, that's a good quality. Well, of course, you should help other people. Yeah, but the energy which is starting the helping of other people can come from different sources. And that can be an obstacle for not seeing the truth, actually. I think we have met them quite much. In the so-called seeking circles, there are quite many people who wants to tell us how it is. And people who wants to heal us with all kinds of methods. When I say healing syndrome, I don't mean only the healing, of course. I'm talking about helping people in the broader sense. And when we are helping close ones, of course, it's based on love. We want to help because we love them. Parents, grandparents, kids, friends, colleagues, or whatever. People on the street in an accident, whatever. That is coming from a compassion, some empathy. That is, of course, coming, so to speak, from the natural source. It's a part of life because we are group people, group animals, so to speak, group creatures. So we are helping each other. Otherwise, we will not survive. Not 1 week. That is not what we're talking about here. I don't want to go into discussion about healing either. That is another subject, so to speak. I know this quite deeply because I'm a healer myself, even though I don't use it anymore. But what we're talking about here, it's a more that the helping becomes a tendency to try to find somebody to help. It becomes some kind of energy is coming from the ego. It's coming from the need Please see me. Please appreciate me. Please admire me. And that is something which, of course, is not coming from a natural situation of helping each other, but it's coming from something deeper inside us. Because it's an advantage. If we have this, if you have this, I'm not pointing to anybody here, of course. If you have this, if you recognize this, what we're talking about here, then you also know that there is some kind of chasing situations in life when you can help somebody. And when you help somebody, it doesn't have to be healing. It can be in any way, of course, borrow money or whatever. You feel good. Hmm? We feel good, feel appreciated, have a value. I am good. I am somebody. I'm worthy. But that is, of course, based on some kind of need which is not fulfilled. Based on idea about ourselves that, for instance, I'm totally worthless. Or another negative idea, I'm not good enough, which is at the bottom of this. Expressing yourself in thousands of ways, and one of these ways can be to helper. We go into this identity of a helper. Most people don't want to be helped, actually. They don't want us to tell them what they should do. Or you need help. I feel that you are tensed. Maybe I can give you some massage or whatever it is. And then if we are a helper, we can be pushed away, actually. And we don't understand why. I just want to help. Because we're not aware why we are doing this, why we are searching for situations that we can feel good in. A situation where we are appreciated, seen, because we are not seen before. Maybe we're not seen in the childhood. And we still not feel that we are seen in adulthood. This tendency is, of course, built on the belief and negative, destructive beliefs about ourselves, which is, of course, not true at all. It's not true at all, of course. But if it has been there for a long time, integrated in us, it becomes an identity almost. The behavior is circulating around helping other people, but it's not on compassion and empathy level based. It's coming from the feeling, I am not good, or I'm not enough. And this can be such a big, what should I say, force in us. So much energy around it that we more or less all the time trying to find situations where we can be of help and not seeing, not becoming aware. It's actually based on a negative belief that I have about myself, which is of course not true. So if one of you who sees this live or in YouTube, if you know this, that you have this tendency in yourself, you can use tools, because we're not going to finish here, of course. This is just a description of some kind of trap that we can fall into, that becomes so big that it's more or less identified with us. We don't see. It becomes an obstacle for not seeing that you're already living in freedom. You don't have to do anything for other people from that source. We do it naturally by love, from love and compassion. But from this psychological standpoint, we don't need to do that, because it's based on illusion. So then we can use a tool. And you know the tool by now. One tool is, of course, to take care of the idea that I'm not good enough. And we use that tool, we know them. How is this moment experience? We're not fighting with the thinking. You know this? We're not fighting with the thinking ever. We leave the thinking alone. We go into the experience on the present moment, in the present moment, which is all you have, of course. The present moment is always here. Huh? You go into the present moment and saying to yourself, how is this moment experienced? Felt, not thought about. How is this experience? How is moment experienced? When I don't believe that I'm not good enough. Let it sink in and just wait and see what happens. That is a way to discharge, not maybe entirely using it once, but by using it when we see this healing tendency or helping tendency rises in us. When we understand that this is, oh my God, I've been doing this since childhood because it gave me some advantages. Maybe in the view of my parents even. So we can use this tool to take away the charge of this belief that I'm not good enough, which is expressing itself as a helper. But of course, that is only half of the truth. Huh? It's a little bit deeper than that. Because as you know by now, who is this me? Who is this me who is not good enough and has to express itself as a helper? And we have been looking at it, of course, many times. But we can use it, adding to this tool. We don't go into details about the personal me here. We have done it before. And we do it very, very much in individual sessions. But we can add a statement. So how is this moment, when you see this tendency of helping, and you see that it is coming from that source of see me, please, appreciate me, please. If we see this, becoming aware of it maybe even more because we are talking about it now, then we can use the tool in the situation, taking one deep breath so it doesn't become a mind game, doesn't become mechanical, and say to ourselves, if we can, in practical situation, how is this moment experienced, felt? When I don't believe that I'm not good enough because there is no me being good enough or not good enough in the first place. So we are combining these two. So I will say it once more. How is this moment experienced? When I don't believe that I'm not good enough because there is no one here to be good enough or not good enough at all. Let it sink in and just wait and see what happens. This is the first time it is presented here. I never used it. I don't know the effect of it. Because usually we have, in one step, we had the negative beliefs about ourselves. I'm not good enough, for instance. And then here, the other theme, the other subject is to question the belief in the person me, responsible me, of course, responsible me. Here we add it and combine them. It's just a nice idea, just a suggestion here to test it. And if you test it in your own life, when you see this tendencies rising, you just can give me a note if it works or not for you. Whether you use the tool or not, the subject is quite important. It can really be an obstacle for seeing the truth. And again, they get so much attention. And now I open for questions or comments or protests on this subject or on any subject.
So, yeah, I do have a question.
Yes.
Um,
Oh, Fritz, are you here? I didn't see you before.
I I popped in, you know.
Okay, you popped in. Okay, welcome.
So let's say that one has the tendency to help people,
Mhm.
and let's even say, for instance, that it does come from some sort of feeling, well, I'm not good enough, or something like that.
What did you say comes from?
Some feeling, oh, I'm not good enough.
Okay, okay, yeah. No.
Yeah. Um, should one restrain oneself from helping? I don't think you're suggesting that, right?
No, I don't say that we should restrain ourselves from helping, but if we are interested in knowing how it really is, to become aware that this helping in itself is coming from some part which is not true. It's just true. It's based on illusion. It's based on illusion of some me here who is not good enough. As I said in the beginning, helping each other is a part of human nature. Of course, we are doing it all the time. We would not survive 1 week without it. Huh? But
Yeah.
what we are talking about here is that when this helping is based on illusory idea, negative beliefs about ourselves, then becomes a problem. Not only for the one who is helping, who really needs to be seeing that you're already free. You don't need to have this behavior, but also for the one who is supposed to be helped, because people usually feel that there is something wrong here. What is it with this guy? He is always trying to help and he's always trying to borrow me money all the time. It will be feel that there is something which is not natural, really, if I may use that word. So we may maybe also want to abstain from being with that people, go away and maybe even push away. And people can be felt pushed away when I'm just trying to help. They become in some kind of victim role going into, huh? But somehow we feel that this help, I don't want your help. I didn't ask for your help, and that is a problem. Because usually people don't ask for the help. Someone is throwing yourself over them. I can help you. That is why it feels so weird. It feels so strange. So why are you coming here trying to help me? It's one thing if it's business. I'm not talking about business here. Oh, I have a fantastic new healing technique. You really have to. I see that you can be something good for you. That is something else. But I'm not talking about money here. I'm not talking about business. I'm talking about the situations when we are using this force of negative beliefs as an expression of helping other people. I don't know if that is an answer for your question, Fritz.
Yeah. So, and you're not talking about some sort of behavior modification kind of thing. It doesn't sound like. It's more about internally what you're feeling.
It's about discovering how it really is.
Yeah.
That there is no one here who needs any satisfaction. There is no one here who needs to have any appreciation, I would say. There's no one here who needs to be seen. That one who is not good enough is not there in the first place. So it's just the whole story is built on illusion and
Yeah.
built on negative thoughts. Yeah.
I get what you're saying. I've known people who are always helping, and it's kind of like,
Yeah.
like you feel like you have to peel them off or something.
Yeah. We feel
Yeah,
it.
it's
We,
weird.
we
I
feel
get
it
it.
we feel it. But of course, we don't want to be rude against them and so on. So maybe we let them help us, so to speak. And even if we feel that, I hope it is finished soon or something.
Yes.
It's about becoming aware again. Becoming aware of what is really going on in us. It's not a theory here. It's not a teaching. It's to become aware of what is really going on within me. Why do I have this behavior? Because it makes me feel good. What does it make? Okay, it makes me feel good. So I don't feel good then? Why don't I feel good now without it? Because every moment is complete in itself. It doesn't need anything from the outside, so-called outside even. But if we don't feel that we are complete, of course, we have to try to fix it then. And the mind has fantastic many suggestions how to fix the present moment. Because obviously it's not enough. It has to be improved somehow. One way to improve it is to have this idea of helping other people, which is coming from not from empathy and not from love and not from compassion or from a natural situation, but it's coming from illusory idea about me, who needs to have some kind of feedback here, who needs to be strengthening, because the ego, the I, is strengthening with this also. It gets bigger and bigger. Just that there is no ego. That is the point. And to not see that, not be open for it even intellectually, then you will never see freedom. We will live in illusion all life. We feel unhappy, we don't know why. Unsatisfied. Anything more you want to add, Fritz?
No, it was just an observation,
You have one more observation?
No, I said
Okay.
it was.
Okay.
No more observations
No
today.
observations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Someone else has something to bring up? Yes, Kathy.
Hi, it's Kathy. You often say, take a deep breath so that the tools don't become mechanical. But is there anything you can do once they do sort of become mechanical and it just sort of feels like, you're saying the same thing over and over and not really getting a result from it?
Come to individual session.
Okay.
That is absolutely the best, to come to an individual session. And why I say this is not because I'm a fantastic guy. I'm not saying that at all. It's because it's very easy explanation. Because it's much easier. That is also, of course, what is a little bit tricky with these tools. It's much easier to be guided from outside, so to speak. When you are in the dentist chair, then the dentist say, open your mouth. It's not any problem with that. But if you sit in your sofa at home and you say, open your mouth, there can be a lot of protests coming. I don't want to open my mouth. So it's much easier. I don't know if that's a good example, but it's just easier. This is our experience. Like people say this all the time. It's much easier to be with you. I always feel good. Unfortunately, I cannot be on your shoulder. If I could, I will do it. So it's not about, I don't know how much it is about this presence or of being or something, but it has also to be with the guidance coming from outside. It helps. And to come out and come back to the right track, you could say. Individual sessions is, in my experience, the best way. If you have sidetracks a little bit. So it can be so small things. It happens almost very often that people misunderstand these tools. Suddenly becomes a mind game. It doesn't work. And then they describe what they do, and they have not followed the instruction. They are trying to fix the mind. They're trying to replace one thought with another thought. And yeah, I will continue until this body collapses to say how it really is, not going to the thinking mind trying to replace the thought with another one. It doesn't work to my experience. Or is it 50 years work or something. If you have old program, which is so strongly integrated in you, and we all have it. We all have it. And we have negative thoughts, which are part of this program. How can you ever change that by just talking to the mind? Huh? Now we have to have a serious talk now here. You say that I'm not good enough, right? And I'm responsible. But actually, this is not true. You have to change your opinion. What will the guy up there or a girl say? No, you are wrong. I am right. You are responsible, me, and you have to fix your life. And by the way, you're not good enough also. That will be so strong, this program. It doesn't listen to a little bit to talking to it or some kind of debate or discussion, even if you have 14 arguments that you can put forward in favor of your view. It's still, yeah, I hear what you say, but I know how it is, it says. I know how it is. You are bad. Or whatever it is that you have as an idea in yourself. But it's very easy to go into that game. That is why it's good to be reminded how these tools are working, that we don't go there. Endless discussions. We just go to how would it be felt, so to speak, or how is it felt in the present moment when I don't believe that thought. Then something else is lighting up. Something else is opening up when we go away from the talking to the mind. And hopefully, of course, this is a better state to be. So now we have two options here. If I believe the thought, I should have this one. If I believe the thought, if I don't believe the thought. This is totally two different states. And if we feel, and people always feel that actually when we are in sessions at least, that this, when we don't believe the thought, is coming to peace, coming to joy, coming to relaxation of the body, coming to the present moment. We're coming home. And if that is the case, why don't we live there then? Because now we have two options. We know how it is to live in the awful state of ignorance, so to speak, in this illusion of me who's not good enough, whatever it is in your case, and how it is when we don't believe it. We're not working with a thinking mind. We just say that, but this is a better state. I feel better when I eat vegetables than I will when I eat at McDonald's. I don't know if I was a good example, but I mean, if we find that something is better for us, we want to go there, of course. We want to eat that kind of stuff or whatever it is. Going out jogging instead of sitting in front of the computer. I mean, when we know that we notice that we feel better, that we have a better state, and we want to be there more. That is, of course, the hope here. Oh, but this is better. So how should I proceed then? Yes, use these tools that you have got in the individual sessions. Use it in the daily situations when the problem arises again, if they do. There is an end. There is an end. And every time you use it to take away the charge of these ideas, and you're coming to that much better state. That is how it works in here. As a motivation to use the tool is coming because, oh, but this is much better state to live in. Here I feel free and at home. Untouched, almost, by what happens in the story. Actually, it doesn't matter what happens in the story even. It's not so serious anymore. It's not so important. Can be appreciated. And now can be enjoyed even. Oh, this is a beautiful story going on here. Some kind of entertainment that someone has put on some kind of DVD here. So I can enjoy. So the idea behind it is that we're coming and see, not talk about, see that this better state to live in, and then we have motivation to use the tools in daily situations. But we have to understand the principle behind it. And quite often we have to be reminded, and that's why we have this individual session and the group sessions, of course, also to be reminded of how this technique, so to speak, this tool is going to be handled, how to use it. Because we are so, the whole culture is built on the idea that we should change our thinking. We are not so much support, don't have so much support from the environment here. From morning to evening, wherever we go, is this thinking on devices, thinking on the news, thinking everybody's talking to us, thinking. The thinking is totally controlling our life from morning to evening. So when we say, how is this moment experienced? Huh? Should I not think? It's not easy to grab it at the beginning, but it is working when we actually try it in practice instead of talking about it. Is that enough for you, Kathy? For now? Yeah, we see each other tomorrow. Someone else has something? I can just say at the end that we had a course just now, and for some reason, there was only 3 people here in Goa. You don't have to go into details about time changes and from America and people get sick and so on. So it was only 3 people. And of these 3 people, one got glimpses of awakening. The second one is now living in awakened state. And the third one is enlightened. I'm as surprised as you are, if you are. So it's working over, expectations, I would say. Yeah, Lindsay, when are you coming? Or I can come to you. Anyone has any final comments here? Of course, people who come to courses, they are very devoted to this, to finally find out how it is and to live that truth. I'm not doing anything. The truth is doing the whole thing. Or what we call it, being or presence or life. And these 2 days which are coming now, as you know, we're not going to have any talk. Finally, I can shut up, so to speak. So we will meet tomorrow for those who want to, and on Friday, and we only have non-dual meditation and the activation. You are so welcome. Thank you very much for today. Beautiful.